What is up, legends? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. So what I would like to do, New Year, first video coming in technically. There's already been one video for the day, but that wasn't actually done today. So new video coming in, and we're going to talk about the Gacha growths. Now, the very first one you see right here, I said that this was going to happen back when I, in Hype Watch, when I actually put Love and Deepspace in Hype Watch about 2 weeks ago, I think. I knew that this was going to be close to 100 million. When you saw them, like they had the dudes in aprons and they got housing and they all flirting and everything, I was like, it's going to 100 million easy. Women gonna act up, and they acted up. So to say that the market doesn't have money for women, like women based gaming, is just completely wrong. It like Love and Deep Space shows that. And the funny thing is they did like a little poll for the percent of actual women that play Love and Deep Space, and it's 91%, 9% men. Which I expected men to be higher because obviously you're gonna have gay men playing the game, but I did expect that to be higher than it was. But it's 91% women. That's wild. So that pretty much means that majority of that 82 million was women. So when you look at the rest of the list right here, that's to say that companies can make male characters and they'd be fine. If you make male characters that are like Love and Deep Space male characters, it'll be fine. But they don't make those characters. They make ridiculous characters. You have to make the eye candy, husbando, like muscle flirty characters. And like you have to put that stuff like in Zenless and HSR and Wuthering Waves. Like it has to be like that. Those games don't do that. They do anime dorky type of men where they look like they're supposed to be cool, but none of them are cool. They don't look cool. Like me as a male looking at it, I was like I think only Wuthering Waves recently with the blind samurai guy, he was cool. He was cool, but that's like one character out the entire year as male characters that was actually cool out of men. I don't think Hoyo even knows how to make cool men characters. I just don't even think they do. And the way that they actually do characters with their design, then they just will never be cool. They'll just be fluffy looking and not like they're just. I don't think Hoyo can do it, so it probably never happened. Even the last guy, like the Shura looking dude and stuff like that, he just looked like a mech, and I'm not too sure. Matter of fact, it did okay. If you look at it right now, he was the predominant banner in that 33 million at 4, which they did better. So making a male character, and you see the funny thing is that was like a mech. He looked like a mech dude. He wasn't an actual like looking like a man character. He just looked like a Chinese Ashura, like a Voltron type of character. It did okay. It was kind of proving the point. Genshin came in at number 2. Genshin, I forgot what the character was. I believe they're in the new area, and I forgot the name of the character, but that did well. Pokemon is just doing what Pokemon does. Star Rail went from 81 million down to 27. That's wild. That's wild. Like, so all the people from HSR just went to Love and Deep Space. I doubt that, but that's a big jump. That's a big jump. But again, the characters that were within and weren't really that interested, so I could kind of like see that. And again, the money between if you look at the 3 Oyo games up here, the money rotates. So notice Genshin went up double, Zenless went up triple, and HSR went down triple. The money just kind of like circulates in between those 3 games. So whenever they're hype, when all 3 of them are hype at the same time, they're all like 40 million. So they end up making like 100 to 120 million a month. But obviously Genshin did the larger share. Fate Grand Order, I don't follow that game, so I don't know what the banner was in that game to actually get that money, but they doubled what they did. Wuthering Waves went up. Obviously, they had the that was Chisei, and I think it was Chisei. So Chisei made them go up 5 million. Chise and Faroba, I believe. I think that's what the characters were during that cycle. Monster Strike, I don't follow. Uma went down 7 million. Naruto Mobile stayed the same for the most part. EK went down 8 million. Dragon Ball Legends went up. They must have had a fest or something like that. I didn't pay attention. I normally jump into those, but I didn't do it this time around. Marvel Contest of Champions. I said Montez. Marvel Contest of Champions went up 5 million. SD Gundam went down 4 million. Puzzle Dragons went up 3. Chaos Zero Nightmare went from 10 to 11. Okay, they stayed steady at 11 million from 10 million, going up. Nothing wrong with that. Bleach Soul Resonance, that's crazy, went up 10 million. That's because of Aizen. And they extended it because they realized that was making money. So I ain't even mad at them at that, because that Aizen character is OP. We out here. We out here. Speaking of Aizen, we out here, yo. Y'all be like, I be gaming out here, yo. Y'all don't understand. We be gaming out here. We always gaming. We always gaming. I just be out here. I really lose a fight. Speaking of CZN, we be out here. I'm out of stamina, so that's a thing. So where we at? Arc Knights went from 41 million down to 10. Damn. Somebody not getting a bonus for Christmas. The Battle Cats, 9 million, for 7 million up to 9 million. Azure Lane went up 4 million. Azure Lane is nothing but a booty game. Now, did you see the 2D stuff that they are putting out now? It is unapologetically, we want your money for lingerie. That's just what it is. JJK up to 9 million. They got their anniversary going on with some good characters. I need to get in on it. Trying to farm from Sukuna because he being a D-bag and not coming out. Summoners War, 6 million going up to 8 million. DBZ Dokkan Battle, 12 million down to 8. One Piece Bounty Rush, I believe they have some type of fest going on. 7 million up from 6. Idol Master went down 2 million. Life Maker, bro, I don't even know what that is, but 3 million to up to 6.2. Brown Dust, I know exactly why. You guys know exactly why Brown Dust went from 1.3 to 6 million. They 100% had a booty last update. I did a video on it and actually kept it as clean as I could possibly do, but that was very actually hard to do because they was wildin'. Like, I mean, damn. And then they had 20 banners up. I've never seen a game do that before. There was 20 banners. I'm not kidding. I counted. It was 20. 20 banners. And you got a free summon on every single one of those banners. And you had enough currency to at least try to get damn near everything on those banners. They was out of control. Seven Nights Rebirth, epic fall off. 8 million down to 6 million. I still like the game. I just not that interested. I'm the OG, 5.8 staying the same. That game just prints money. It'll be there forever. Girls Frontline 2 had their anniversary, went up to 5.6. Beyond the World, that just fell off hardcore. That's a husbando game. It's 2.2 up to 5.5. Cookie Run Kingdom staying straight. Blue Archive, 4.7, same thing, going up to 4.9. That crazy, not crazy. Hatsumiku Colorful Stage went down by 250. 7 Deadly Sins rather, Grand Cross went up by 1 million. Ensemble Stars went down by 1 million. I'm gonna say something at the end of all this. Watchers of Realm did okay. Fairy Tail Wizard Chronicle, that actually did 4 million. That's crazy because that's straight up an idle game. I gave that game 4 million. Don't pre-con, man. Haven't y'all had it? Whatever. Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster Duel, 4 million across the board. Memento Mori went down 1 million to 4 million. Reverse 1999 went down because it's not that interesting of banners. I'm playing right now, and arguably they put the best healer in the game, and it went down. That's crazy. So that's a hint. The best healer in the game is Robuska, the vampire little girl. She's like the best one right now, and that y'all they really, maybe because they didn't promote it enough. It's probably they should have just promoted it as that, and it would have did better, but it went down. One Piece Treasure Cruise, 3.5, 200k extra. Infinity Nikki from 9.2 to 3.4. Disney Twisted Wonderland went down 1 million. China Nikki stayed where it's at, basically. Fire Emblem Heroes, that game is still alive. Went up by 1 million. Persona, Persona deserves way more money than it is, but at least they did better this month. It deserves way more money. Psyche, Slow Life, that's shocking that this is on the list. And One Piece Ambition, 2.7. That deserves more as well. What I'll say is that the average amount of money that all of the lower tier games is going up, because if you go back in the videos that I have done, by the time we got to 50, majority of these games were barely making it over 1 million. Some of these games on the list was like that. So the overall money in the gacha market is actually slowly going up. It's just no games coming out because it costs a lot to actually make games. It costs too much now to make a game than to actually get the profit. The servers cost too much. So that's kind of like what's killing everything. The global economy is ass. And a lot of the money that was being spent and being made comes from two places, and that was the largest in the gacha, which is the West, which is the United States, which is obviously our economy is broken ass, and China, which is not immune to it. China's economy, fiscally, is not that well off. Actually, scratch that. The economy fiscally is not doing that bad. However, the expendable money that China had drastically fell off, which was a lot of where all this money was coming from. China plays some mobile games, and it literally got cut in half. That affects all of this stuff, believe it or not, because Chinese people come over here and spend their money over here because they want to play with the West. They play in the East. And when you have the two biggest markets for it basically struggling, that affects everybody else. And of course, the rest of the world is just not spending as much, companies are making less money, so they're getting less in the black, which is why we had a record number of gacha games last year die. We thought it was bad in 2024. 2025 ended up being worse. It ended up being double of what 24 was as far as lost games. And in total between 2024 and 2025, it started in 2023, which we just started the free fall basically. But if you put all three of those years together, the gacha market lost 80% of the games. That's like, you think about that for a second. 3 years ago, it was 80% more games than there is now. Like, Google Play is a ghost town, and iOS is worse. You literally don't remember you used to be able to just sit there for a day and find games on these platforms. Now you can literally spend an hour and see every game on the platform, every single one, easily. Including the little cheesy ones and the clone games and everything else. You can literally see it in an hour and scroll through it. If you go to APK websites and look at the new games coming in, maybe 5-10 a day now. Maybe like 100 games a week, when it used to, believe it or not, it used to be like 500 games between all the regions in the world. It's maybe even, it's like less than 100 now, and it's just going to get worse this year. Now you have to be like close to a AAA company and make quality to survive. If you don't make quality, then the game just doesn't survive. Like, it'll come out and maybe do well, maybe you'll pop off like these games on the bottom right here and get like 2.9, but then how much does it cost to make the game, and how much does it cost to run the servers? Like Persona I don't think Persona is making that much more. They might be making at best 1 million profit right now, which is amazing. But you have to pay all those people that are running the game too. So majority of that 1 million profit, and then you got people on average like the dev team probably that actually pay all the dev team, which is why the dev teams don't usually only end up being between 10 to 30 people. Like to pay everybody in the dev team is probably going to be like between 300 to 400k. Then you have to pay for the servers every month, licensing, and everything else like that. So you got 300, 400k that you have to pay your employees. And you only made 1 million profit. So that's why you understand why those games that only make like between 500k to like 1 million, maybe 1 point, maybe 2, why they end up EOSing. And you're like, well, they're making 2 million out of EOS because it probably costs 2 million to actually run the game and pay everybody. The cheaper the game is, the actually manufacturer, which is why the idle games survive a little bit longer than some of these other games, is because they are not that their front, all the front heavy stuff is gone, and to maintain them is probably maybe 50k, 50 to like maybe 50k a month, and then you hardly have to even pay anybody for that. They probably have like teams of maybe 10 to 15 people running that type of game in a month. But then you have these other games, like It's Like It's So Life is a classic example of that. There's no way that game, as far as maintenance a month, cost any more than 50 to 100k. No way. And they made basically 2.8 million in profit. That can survive. That could be here all year and not be affected. But then you start going up. You start looking at Persona. Start looking at Fire Emblem, even though that's a vertical game. That it takes a lot for that particular game, and then the licensing. There's Shiny and Nikki, even worse. Disney, they probably not even making any money at Disney, because you already know Disney is wilding. Benny Nikki, One Piece Treasure Cruise. You start going up, you start looking at these games. Reverse 1999, their music is OP. The way that they have animations on their graphics is OP. I know it's not cheap to run that game. Memento Mori, I always said, is lying, so I don't even pay attention to them. You got Yu-Gi-Oh! Licensed and crazy. Fairy Tail probably hangs out. Watchers of Realm can't be that much to run. I doubt that game. It's like a JPEG game. Shadowverse, Worlds Beyond, their server probably cost that whole 4 million. That's crazy. You start going up and you start looking at these games, and then like, are they really making that much money? It starts being okay. Like, see, like Brown Dust probably made enough money with that 6 million to survive another 6 to 7 months, just off of that 6 million, not counting whatever they get going on. So that's what these companies usually are banking on right now. They can get that month where they spike like that, and they'll be fine until like the middle of the year, and hopefully they'll make the 1.3 and they'll be breaking even to pay all their bills and everything else like that. You start looking at that, you start breaking it down. Again, you don't necessarily have to listen to me. Start looking up this stuff and be like just aware of what's going on around you in the gaming space. Like how much it costs to go get a server, how much it costs to like to have a lead tech, and then graphic design, then music, then who's running the server, like how much does that cost. Start putting all that together and looking at how much all that costs, and you start to understand why I say certain things. And it's not that I'm just pulling it out of thin air. I'm market value, stuff like this. People could get deals and stuff like that. It could be a little bit cheaper, could be a little bit expensive, but you start to become aware how much it costs to do. Like somebody to properly run this stuff, like on average, like a lead designer, like a lead tech, their pays, even in like countries that are not like the United States, is between 30 to 100k. Like those are college degree people. Like you can't just give them 10k and be like then nobody's gonna take that job. Like, so they have to physically pay them properly with something. Like now, this is such thing as overtime and crunch, and then you not having enough people in the team. It could be like 5 to 10 people having to do like 80 different jobs. That's the thing. That's 100 of it. AAA games do that bullshit. It's going. That's why GTA is in the problem is right now. All that money GTA got, and they, for whatever reason, can't hire enough people to make the game properly. If they had just did that from the start, we would have GTA 6 already. Think about that for a second. That's a $1 billion company that can't hire enough people to properly make that game, and then got crunched, and they got people revolting and everything else like that. Now the game is pushed back to like 2027 and stuff like that. Like, brother, if like, I don't understand how companies be so cheap and can't do stuff properly. If I'm a billionaire, if my game ever gets to the point where I'm making millions, I'm hiring enough people to do it properly. And I'm in the black and comfortably in the black and chilling. I'm hiring enough people to do it properly and making the game a year and gonna make profit. I don't know why these companies, like greedy ass people. I don't get it. I just don't get it. You could just do it right from the start, make games, and a lot of it is investors and stuff like that. And I've been going into that, and I actually have something in place right now that I literally said, if you because I'm setting up everything possible, like, because obviously you guys know that I'm making a game, but I have it as TOS, terms of service, that if somebody is an investor, they cannot influence the timeline. They cannot demand anything and I let it be known. And then, like, it's going to be this timeline. If something happens, then something happens. But you will not tell me or anybody else that I need my money by this particular point. Now, if you invest after that point, then that's just on you. You have to do that. Companies have to do that now, because that's why we have so much problems. Why Cyberpunk came out as screwed up as it is right now, and they learned now, and they have that exact thing going on right now with Cyberpunk. Part 2, rather. It's not in part 1. They have that exact thing going on right now. It happened with Starfield. They rushed Starfield out before it was ready to be put to the proper place. All this stuff can be avoided if they, like, you just use common sense. But money just makes people not have common sense anymore. They get greedy and just want to get their investment back and everything else like that. It's wild. So hopefully these companies, all these gacha companies, they do well, because I don't want to see the market dwindle anymore. Like, if it dwindles the same way it has the past 3 years, it's going to be sad 2027. I don't want that. I like to have fun in the gacha market, because I think it's irreplaceable if it completely collapses, because it might already be too late, to be honest with you, because it's already 80% collapsed. And if it does the same thing it's done the last 3 years, it's just over. There's no coming back at that point. So hopefully that won't happen. I'll catch you guys next video. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I love everybody who stops by. You guys always make my day with your comments. It's always funny and whimsical and gives me a reason to keep going. So be legendary, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.